In this video, I got my Axial Scx10iii early Bronco back out on the bench, and I'm going to be swapping out the shocks for something new. So if that interests you, stick around and find out more. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. RC Propaganda here. Today, I got the Axial Scx10iii Bronco back on my bench, and I'm going to be swapping out the shocks. So if you're familiar with the rig, you will know it comes with 100mm shocks from the factory, and I think the truck's just sitting up a little bit too high. It seems like it tips over really good. I did tune the stock shocks. I went ahead and put some heavier oil in the back because it was just planting like this and just flipping over like super easy, and I definitely was not a fan of that. I didn't get to test it as much as I wanted, but I did take it out and it definitely remedied the problem up a little bit, but it still seems like it's rather top heavy, and I don't know why they chose to go with the long 100mm on the straight axle. Especially from the factory, it was really bad. So I went ahead and come up with a new solution. So what I did is I had a set of associated shocks, well, Element RC shocks from an IFS kit hanging around because I never actually finished that, and then I picked up another rig, whatever, that's a whole nother story. So I didn't want to spend the money. I had these and they're pretty good shocks. Here they are, you can see them right here. Boom, that's the shock. So it's, you know, they're just very good, smooth shocks. Went ahead, I built them up, got green slime. This is gonna be the front shock, so it's got 70 weight with the soft gray spring that comes with the Enduro kit. The IFS kit comes with these heavy black springs. I was gonna try these, but I feel that they are definitely too stiff for sure. So I was thinking what else I had, what else I could use, and they are a tiny bit shorter, but they are Traxxas shocks, and they are in between the gray element and that really firm IFS element spring. These, I believe, are the green springs. These came factory in my Land Rover, I believe. They don't have the markings on them, and because they're factory, I believe. I'm really not sure why they don't have the markings, but I do have a green one somewhere, and I was testing and it feels just like the green. So when I put these on, they feel great. I just have to put a little preload. If you compare them, you can see the height is just a little off, but I'm gonna bring the camera in closer when I actually do the swap, and I'll show you some of the particulars on there. But I think that this is gonna be a winning combination. I'm really hoping this lowers the truck and gets the suspension planted. I know the Element shocks are really nice. I had them, so I didn't have to spend money. I had all these springs, I had oil. So I'll break down a little bit more when we move into the work, but that's kind of what I got going on. So let's get these installed, take a closer look, and I will get the measurements too before we start. So let's get into all this work and see how this winds up working out. Here we go. So to get this ride height, I'm just going to let it sit like that and just get a couple of measurements, nothing crazy. Okay, so we are like a 4 1/16, almost 4 1/8 in the front, and in the back to the bottom of the bumper we are at 3 7/8, and in the fender 5 7/8 basically. So nothing crazy. In theory, everything should be working out because these are 90mm and the stock ones are 100. So I'm going down 10mm. Don't know what 10mm is. I guess when I edit the video, I'll put it up here on the screen. I don't know it off my head. Whatever 10mm is in inches or whatever. So essentially, right, we're going from here just to here. Very little very subtle, but we'll see. I'm not sure how it's all going to look. So, yeah, that is what it kind of looks like here stock. And let me just show you the shocks real quick. All right, so here we are with the shocks. They are Element RC shocks. This one right now, you can see how stiff that is. It's got the IFS spring in it. That one was the stiffest. And then I'm going to go down to this Traxxas one here. All I have to do is run a little preload, which is okay because they are just a tiny bit shorter, basically by like one rung. But once you get a little preload on there, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to experiment a little with all of these. The front's going to be running 70 weight oil with the soft spring, and that feels really good. It's got really nice soft rebound. It doesn't have too much. It's not too fast. Green slime, when I built them, they feel great. So those are going to go on the front, I believe. Like I said, I'm going to experiment a little. So I'm going to go ahead, install all of these shocks, and then we will come back and take a look, and we'll do the old wiggy test like this, so you can kind of see before I do put them on there the motion, right? Let's get a good look at it. So we're pushing here from the top, side to side. Look at that. That's just the body roll, right? And then because it's up high, it's just a lot of body roll. Look at that. So when you're crawling and then that bottoms out, it's boom, it's heavy. So I'm hoping to get that body roll to be a little less. And yeah, we'll see what it's like. So I'm going to go ahead, get to wrenching, get those all on. We don't need to watch that. It's super simple. And then we'll come back and we'll take a look and we'll talk about it. All right, guys, so I got all the other shocks on, but before I put the last one on, I just wanted to show you exactly what I did on each shock. So you have, obviously, the hole in your shock cap for your pivot ball. I went ahead and I just used the stock one from the Axial. Now, it fits through like so, right? And this spacer piece here is what's going to go up against the shock tower, and then that pivot ball is in there. But the only problem is this can slide through, but obviously I'm going to have washers on this end, so that technically when that's on there it could push in, but like it has to be pretty exact. If there's any turn, it doesn't go through. I went ahead and when I put the other ones on, I was testing it. So far it's felt pretty good, so I'm excited to get the last shock on to see. This particular one here, I got a little preload because I'm using that Traxxas spring. Everything feels really smooth. That feels really nice. I think it's going to be really good. If I have to fix that shock cap situation, I will. Another thing I did is I took off the spring captures, perches, and put them on, and the rod ends off the Axial shock. I felt that the Axial rod ends were a little more sturdy than the Element ones, and I really like the spring perch captures here with the little set screw. Although these ones do work pretty good. They slide down over the rod end pretty good, but I don't know, I felt that that was better. So this shock is really good. I'm going to go ahead, get it installed, and then we'll start playing around and see how it feels. Well, alright guys, I got everything all put back together, and wow, it feels pretty dang good. Those shocks are so smooth. We still got that body roll, but now it's not coming down as much. We definitely lowered the height. We were over 4 inches before, and let's try to get this nice. And you can see now at the bottom of the bumper, we're at like 3.5 inches. So we almost lowered it a 1/2 inch in the back. And here on the front bumper, we were over 4 inches, and we were just above 3.5. So we definitely lowered that. Not sure how much articulation, obviously, it's sacrificing, but you can see, right, it's still pretty good. This rig I'm building for fun. It's not, you know, an all-out performance rig, so I'm not worried about that little bit of approach that I'm going to lose in the front or anything like that. I just want it to look good, and then a bonus with it sitting a little bit lower. It goes a little bit better with the figs. Austin's still a little bit on the small side, but now look, Michael Myers was a tall guy. This is a lifted rig, and look, you know, he's kind of up there. Stuff like that I worry about. So lowering it has helped me achieve some of that. We'll have to see how it performs on the rocks now. But now it's shrunk down. Everything looks good, and I'm really happy with it. So I'll have to get it out on the rocks, and we'll do a performance test. But for now, that's it. That's all you have to do if you want to do this. There's other ways to go. You can pick up a set of 90mm shocks, whatever brand you feel will be best. I had these lying around, but that's all you need if you're looking to maybe get a little bit better performance, stability, lower your ride height, get that CG down. Maybe you might want to do this mod. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you all watching. It means a lot. Don't forget, leave me a comment down below. Hit that like button. If you are new here, please consider subscribing before you go, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.